Coach Weaver here again, helping you to become a better leader. Today we're continuing on with our best practice series, and today we're on number 6. But in number 5, I talked about the big no-no of multitasking, that we need to stop multitasking and really focus and complete one job at a time. But I get a lot of feedback from people saying, okay, I understand the concept, but I have a really chaotic job and I can't control it and I have to multitask. I understand that some jobs are far more chaotic than others, but this is the problem. Here's a quote from Jim Rohn: either you run the day or the day runs you. And the problem that I see a lot of times with business managers and leaders in the organization is that their day runs them rather than them running the day. Let's take an example of a receptionist. A receptionist, they have to switch tasks all the time. They're typing, they're answering phones, they're talking to people in the office, and they're having to switch back and forth all the time. It's not ideal, but that's kind of their job description, and that's what they have to do. But that receptionist is not making major decisions for the company. And you shouldn't expect them to do important, detailed work during chaotic times. That's just not something that you can really expect of them. If you need them to do some data input, invoicing, etc., you need to be able to block out time and let them have time to just focus on that one thing. However, as a manager and a leader, you are making major decisions. You're working on important projects, and you cannot have a chaotic job. You have to learn to focus, make the most of your time, and you need to learn to run your day and not let it run you. Quick kind of a little example. I do some group coaching, and one of the things that comes up in coaching sessions is people will bring up a lot of different concerns and major problems or things that they're working on. And so every so often we'll take time and I'll try to get them to just stop, focus, and ponder to help them solve problems. Focusing and pondering helps with creativity for problem solving, finding your next course of action, recentering yourself on the next project, working out in your mind employee issues sometimes, things like that. And so I'll have them ponder for, say, 5 minutes. The interesting thing to watch is that after about 30 to 60 seconds, most people give in to distractions. They pick up their phone, they start checking something on the phone, reading through a piece of paper, they're doodling, they're doing something. And in our society, it is easier to find distractions and give in to them than to stay focused on a deep concern or problem for most people. And it takes practice. We have to work on that. We have to overcome those distractions, and we have to get to the point where we can focus so that it'll improve not only the quality of our work, but the production of our work and the efficiency of our work. So here are some basic suggestions. And this is not a complete list by any means, but just some things you can do to work on in order to become better at focusing. The first one is setting boundaries and holding to them. Employees and customers will respect you more knowing that you have those boundaries and that you hold to them. It builds trust. It also lets people know that you take things seriously, that when you're working on a project, really focused, doing the best that you can. And they know that when you get to the point where you're focused on the project for them, that they will have your complete attention and you're going to do the best that you can. And again, that's going to build more confidence and more trust in your ability to do that. And you're going to be seen as a better leader. Sometimes to do this, we have to eliminate distractions. And we have to be assertive about maybe closing the door, not answering our phone during certain times. Telling a secretary, receptionist, other people that, hey, I'm in a meeting. I need to not be bothered for the next half hour. And set a meeting with yourself. Schedule a meeting with yourself if you have to. Another thing is to really block out time and use your time efficiently and effectively. So for example, returning emails. Emails take typing skills. They take attention to detail for grammar and for how you're wanting to say something so it comes across the right way. And if we're trying to switch tasks or we're not really focused, it's easy to make errors. If you block out time and say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes going through my emails, cleaning out my email box, and returning emails, you're going to be focused and you're going to get into a groove of typing and responding to emails such that you're going to provide much better emails to the people that you're writing to, and reduce not only the errors, but also the miscommunications that can happen in emails. Returning phone calls are much the same way. It takes verbal skills. You have to have a positive, supportive attitude when you're on the phone. Your voice says a lot when you're on the phone. If you're blocking out time to do that, you're going to have better phone calls and have better success. For example, I have 60 minutes blocked out on my schedule to return phone calls. So at 11 a.m. and at 4 p.m. daily, those are my times that I block out to return phone calls. In my job, people can wait 4 hours for a return call. They know that I'm in meetings, they know that I'm in appointments, and so they're not expecting a return call right away. If it's an immediate thing that I have to return, I'll return it. But if it can wait, I'll wait till the scheduled time and then I'll return those phone calls. So why is it that I do that? One is, not only am I more focused and efficient when I return those phone calls, but I'm also prepared. I have a pen, a paper. I'm prepared to take notes, to deal with an issue. And because I've prepared, I have better phone skills, a better attitude about making those phone calls. And they come across much better to the people that I'm talking to. Other important times to block out time is if you're working on major projects, detailed things like payroll, billing, invoicing, that you need to have real focus. You need to eliminate distractions and focus on those things so that you have good quality time to do those things with minimal error. Another big one is employee training or employee counseling. You need to focus here and ensure that you don't leave out something so that the training is thorough and complete, but also that there's good understanding back and forth. When we're not focused, it's easy to think that the person is understanding what we're saying, but we don't always get that. And that's where we need to make sure we're checking that communication and that there's understanding on both sides. Doing these things will build more respect with employees, taken more serious, be more organized, and you'll produce better quality and quantity of work. So everybody has different amounts of chaos in their job and different amounts of distractions. And some people can't block out large amounts of time, even for important items. So you have to do what your job allows. I have a client, Steve, that he can't block out large blocks of time, but he still works hard to block out 30 minutes every day where all he does is his invoicing and his billing. So at the end of the week, he's done 30 minutes every day. He knows that his billing is done when he's been focused so that there's minimal errors, it's correct, and he's not stressing about whether it was done or that anything has fallen through the cracks and he's forgotten one of the invoices. By doing these things, it will help you in your productivity, in your focus, in the way you're viewed as a leader. And until next time, best success.